Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how I made my beautiful spring dress. So I will be using just basic bodice patterns, but I'm going to edit the neckline because I want a V neckline. So I cut out all the pieces, and by the way you guys, if you don't have bodice patterns yet, I have a tutorial on how to do that, and I also have a tutorial on how to make a half circle skirt pattern. We'll try to link all the tutorials in the description box below, so you can go ahead and check that out later after you are done watching this video. Anyway, I am transferring the darts for the front bodice. If you are wondering where I got the fabric, I actually purchased this from Hobby Lobby last year before we left Kentucky. So this is like one of those, like a remembrance fabric, I guess. And I'm not certain if they are still available, so if you have Hobby Lobby near you, be sure to check them out. And this is how I sew darts. I start from the wide end going down to the tapered end, and I'm just going to knot the threads so it will prevent the threads from unraveling, and I will do the same with the lining. After that, I am going to press the darts or the seams. This will make your garment look so professional. For the back bodice, I did not close the darts because I managed to remove it. As you can see, it kind of, the back has a curved shape to it. That's how I got rid of the darts or the excess fabric. After I joined the shoulder seams and the side seams, I also did a stay stitch along the neckline. It will prevent the neckline from gaping or from stretching. I matched the right sides of the shell fabric and the lining. I also matched the seams together, and I'm just going to clip it. I mark it here so I can easily see when I need to turn the fabric. After that, I stitch along the neckline. I am doing 1/2 inch seam allowances for this dress to make everything accurate. Except for the zipper, I added 1 inch for that just so I have some room to adjust if I need to. I grade the curve and the V. It's time to understitch the lining, so I pretty much move the lining to the other side facing the seam allowance, and I'm just going to stitch along as close to the seam, and this is what it should look like. As you can see, the neckline is already finished and it's perfect. Now it's time to attach the skirt, so I pretty much find the center fold of the skirt and the bodice, and I'm just going to match it to the right sides of the fabric. I repeated the same for the lining, obviously. So this is to make the matching so much easier, and you are going to make sure that everything is lined up and distributed equally. And then I'm just going to pin it to secure, and obviously I'm going to stitch it later on, and pretty much I will repeat the same steps with the lining. By the way, this cotton fabric is a dream to work with. And this is what it should look like. I absolutely love the fabric, you guys. It is so feminine. And now it's going to be the same like I said earlier, just match the right sides of the fabrics. As you can see, my lining are like two different colors because I ran out of white, so I forgot that I have this matching blue, so I used it. But it doesn't really matter because no one will see that. The lining fabric that I'm using is of a jersey material, so I also switched the needle to jersey needle. This is what it should look like. As you can see, it is nice and neat inside the dress. Now it's time to work on the puff sleeves. I finished the sleeve hems, and I also created a channel for the elastic so I can gather it up to create those beautiful poofy sleeves. Don't make it so tight that it's going to cut off the circulation on your arms. So now I'm just going to secure the ends and close the side seams. Then it's time to set it in the armhole. So I'm simply going to match the right sides of the fabrics. I like to match the seams first and then the center fold on the shoulder. I also stitch a gathering stitch along the shoulder so I can gather the sleeves to create the poofy design that I wanted. And I'm really concentrating the gather on the shoulder part. Once I am happy with that, I am going to sew it all the way around, and obviously I'm going to be repeating the same steps to the other sleeve. Did you know that you can remove the flatbed on your sewing machine to access free arm when sewing in the round, or basically sewing sleeves or armholes? I guess I could have added the elastic at the very end so I don't have to do this step, because there was this fabric hanging off, so I just fold it in and tack it in. It's not a big deal. Make sure to remove all loose threads. That will make your garments look so professional and clean. Now it's time to deal with the zipper. The zipper is going to be applied on the shell fabric, not on the lining. First thing I will do is make sure that the seams are matched perfectly. This way I can easily make an adjustment. Then I place the zipper right on top of it and mark it, so later it's going to be super easy to match it up. Then I mark how long the zipper is going to be. Mine is going to be 14 inches. For the back seam, I gave it 1 inch allowance, so I'm just going to mark it and I'm going to draw a straight line to make the process a little bit easier, especially if you're a beginner. I usually don't do this, but for this video, I decided to do it so it's much easier for you to see it. Then I'll go ahead and place the zipper on the line that I drew. So I basically place the correct side of the zipper and the fabric together, and I'm going to align the zipper teeth as close to the line I drew as much as possible. So I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. And if you don't get it the first time, it's okay. Just be sure to test the zipper that it's going to close properly before you sew it. So before I did this, I actually tested out and it works perfectly. So now I'm ready to stitch along the edge, and I will be using an invisible zipper foot. This is actually very handy. I got this off of Amazon long time ago. I forgot to mention, I pressed the zipper earlier, so it's going to open the coil a little bit. So as I sew, I am going to open the coil or the zipper teeth as much as I can. You want the teeth standing up against the groove of the zipper foot. Then I flip the tail in just like this, and then close the zipper, and it looks perfect. The seams match perfectly, and that makes me so happy. Now it's time to close the back seam, so you wanna turn the dress wrong side out and you are just going to match the back seam. I move the zipper aside so it doesn't get in the way. At this point you can actually trim it already, but I decided to wait. Match the back seam, and I'm just going to stitch 1 inch all the way down to the hemline. Or you can also stitch from the hemline all the way to the zipper end, which I did in this video. And I will just sew it until I can't anymore, and be careful that you don't stitch on the zipper end. It might break a needle. After that, I trim off the zipper, and then I decided to be extra today, and I'm going to wrap it or wrap the ends using some leftover fabric just to make it a little extra and pretty. But it's not necessary, you can just stitch it so it is nice and secure. Now that the invisible zipper is properly applied, it's time to deal with the lining. I turned the dress wrong side out so I can work on the lining. So pretty much I am just going to separate the lining from the shell, just like you see here. And by the way, if the seams doesn't match at the back, it doesn't matter because no one will see the inside of the dress. So just keep that in mind. So I separate the lining and the shell, as you can see here. So now I'm going to fold the lining towards the right side of the shell fabric. Basically, I am matching the right sides of the fabrics together, encasing the zipper inside. And I'm going to pin the lining all the way to the zipper end. I will repeat the same process to the other side. I match the right sides of the fabrics together and then going to pin it or clip it, whatever you want to use. And I'm going to secure it all the way to the zipper end. And here I am using a zipper foot. I am just going to use the zipper teeth as my guide to where I'm going to stitch. So I'm just going to stitch all the way to where I pinned earlier. After that, I turn the dress right side out and it will reveal a perfect encased zipper inside the lining. Now it's time to close the back seam of the lining. You can actually put the tab inside. You don't have to push it out because I ended up pushing it in after I finished sewing. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it is so beautiful and dreamy. Oh my goodness, I just love the fabric. Now all what's left to do is finish the hemlines and the dress is completed. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you like this tutorial or this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think of this dress. Is it too juvenile or is it romantic and feminine dress that is perfect for any age? Let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so because I would love to have you here. Thanks again for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!